what's up you guys? I wanted to hop on here and talk to you about the oils that I posted on my Instagram last night, the ones that are good for cold and flu season. The other night I used them for my husband who was dealing with a cold on top of asthma. The colds just happened to irritate his lungs and trigger an asthma attack, but it was really windy and rainy outside and he was not about to go get into the car to get his inhaler. So I hopped out of bed and I grabbed some oils and I wanted to share what those oils were and how I used them. So the first oil that I grabbed is my #1 go-to for cold and flu season. I swear by it. It gets rid of my cold by the next day. It's sooner, but usually I take it before bed, so I don't really know how quickly it works. I just know that by the next day I feel 100 times better. So that oil is eucalyptus. This is my second bottle. This is an empty bottle. I have like maybe a drip left in that one. I have another full bottle. A quick side note, my father-in-law, he was going on a cruise a couple weeks ago and he had a really nasty cold. And so I grabbed my bottle of eucalyptus and I handed it to him. I said, put this on, put it on your feet, put socks on, which is exactly what I did for my husband. And the reason you put socks on is because when you put oil on your skin, what doesn't get absorbed into the skin will evaporate. So what you want to do is put them on the arch of your foot, like right just on the sole of your foot, and then you put socks on, which will hold in that oil so your body can absorb like the full amount, or at least more than it would if you just put it on bare and then hopped into bed or walked around, it would rub off. So I put the eucalyptus on the bottom of his feet. He put socks on. I also rubbed it in my hands, and then I just put some on the back of his neck like this, and then I rubbed a little behind his ear, and then I rubbed it on his chest. It smells very similar to like Vicks Vapor Rub. If you've ever smelled like eucalyptus, that's what it smells like. So I put it on his chest to help him breathe. And then after that, I had him get a cup of water, just a regular like coffee cup. So it's like somewhere, I think about 8 ounces maybe. And then I added wild orange. I added tangerine. I also added turmeric. And I added lemongrass. Now, the tangerine and the wild orange is just, simple. Vitamin C. It's an immune boost. The lemongrass, same thing. It's also got antibacterial and anti-inflammatory, so I added that in there. I did 3 drops of the wild orange and the tangerine just because orange is delicious. So I added that, and oh, goodness. Sorry about that. And then I added 2 drops of the lemongrass. Lemongrass is really strong, so you really only need like a drop and a half. And then lastly was the turmeric. Turmeric is really anti-inflammatory, and this is the one that I use. It was for his asthma. Those who have asthma know that when you have an asthma attack, your lungs get inflamed and it's painful. And so when you take your inhaler, it helps bring down that inflammation. And where he was too lazy to go out to the car to get his inhaler, I used the turmeric. I put a couple drops in his water, and I had him take his shirt off and I rubbed it right on like this half of his body, like where your lungs are located. I rubbed it there so it'll absorb into the skin. And he was non-stop coughing before I did that. And I swear, within 5 minutes, his cough had nearly diminished. His lungs felt better. He could breathe better. So the combination of all of these really worked. The eucalyptus, I want to go back to that one. That's antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. It's just fantastic. But what I usually do is I'll put it in a bath. I love to take detox baths. If you've followed me on here for a while, I've mentioned it quite a few times that when myself or my kids or anyone in this house is sick, or even anyone I know, I always suggest a detox bath. I use a cup, sometimes 2, depending, of Epsom salt, and then I put a bunch of eucalyptus in there, and I also drip the eucalyptus on the sides of the tub. That way, while the water's filling up, it creates like a steam, or you could do it in the shower if you don't want to take a bath. You just drip it on the edges. Don't put it on the floor of the shower because then the water's just going to wash it away. I also I have a cloth shower curtain, so I'll drip it in there and then it'll just steam. Really good if you have babies, like little babies. You can stand in the shower with the steam going, help loosen up that mucus. The other thing I do is when I'm taking the bath specifically, I take a washcloth and I dip it in the water, which is covered in, Epsom salt, eucalyptus. Sometimes I'll add a little lavender in there, and I'll just place it over my face and just take nice deep breaths, almost like a steam, I don't know what you call it, like not a steam shower. You know what I'm talking about. It's just moisture and it gets all in there. It feels amazing and you'll sleep really good. That would be my suggestion for cold and flu season. These things, if you don't want to put them in your water, you can buy capsules, just empty capsules, and take them like any sort of vitamin, and that works just as well. I am used to them, so they don't bother me to put them in my drinks, or even just put them under my tongue. Always test your oils on your skin, make sure you don't have an allergy, and if it does irritate your skin, all you have to do is put some fraction coconut oil, any sort of carrier oil. I prefer coconut oil, but you just mix it together. It dilutes it a little bit. It does not take away the effects of it. It just slows down the absorption rate. So that's one more tip that I have for you. If you get an oil on you, I've done this with peppermint. Peppermint burns when you put it on your bare skin. It's very icy and hot, and that's, you know what I mean. Like icy hot. It's the same thing. So when it burns and it's going to be too much, a lot of people, their first reaction is to go put their hand in water to like wash it off. That's a bad idea. The water opens up the pores and it just makes it go in deeper and faster. So what you really, that's what she said. What you really want to do is grab an oil, any oil. It can be olive oil, it can be coconut oil, anything, and you rub it on top of the oil that you have gotten all over yourself that's causing irritation. Excuse me. And it'll dilute that and make it and get it to go away. It won't hurt anymore. So that's it for today. I will check in later. If you have any questions, please message me. I want to be doing more videos like this. If there's anything that you have going on and you're curious if there's an oil out there for that, I got you. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.